and or fit?
Probably me. I'm the fit one, or I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
And then fresh is the black guy who wears the chains.
Okay. All right. So he's black, and you were also black, but some of the colored folk don't consider you amongst them, right? Have I heard this correct?
Yes. So the blacks don't consider me one of them, which is fine because I'm not a nigger anyway. And
okay. It's going to be that kind of show.
Coming in hot.
Hold on a second. You want to repeat that intro?
Yeah, so the niggers don't consider me one of them, but that's fine. I don't mind. Not a big deal.
Why is that? Because you're Sudanese?
Myron Gaines shocked Steven Crowder with the brutal reality of modern dating for men in this debate with Steven Crowder, as Myron Gaines calls out women's bad behavior while telling men how to protect themselves because the wrong woman can wreck you, and that's why we need to choose the one who is an asset and not just fun. Let's get in.
I think it's kind of funny when you sort of look, people talk about the Overton window, and it's conservative Christians defending Hooters.
Yeah.
Like that's a real shift, it's where we're like, look, we're, as a Christian conservative, I'm anti-pornography. I think it's bad for society, for culture.
Agree.
I think it rots the brain. But I also think that the idea that we can't appreciate beautiful women is ridiculous. So the same Christians who are like, hey, this shouldn't be on, for example, like South Park. This shouldn't be on during primetime where kids could see it. But like, of course, adults should be able. Now they're the ones defending whatever, Hooters or Twin Peaks or whatever, the slutty kilt, whatever it's called. Because we're like, yeah, but you don't get to tell adults what they do on their own time.
Yeah.
We're able to separate the two. Whereas now we're infantilized by the left. Like Harry Sisson, what was it? He sent a couple of dick pics. Is that what it was? Something like that?
Yeah, he was like flirting with multiple girls, pretending like he was being exclusive to them.
Right.
Okay.
Basically, he was being a player.
Yeah.
Which, we don't give a shit about. But like over there, that's a big problem because now you're like being, oh my God, you're being a womanizer, you're being a misogynist, you're being all this crap. And it's like women do the same shit. It's just that like when a guy does it, right, it's a big problem.
Well, because they don't expect it. Now, do you ever get in hot water? Because you're a lady, lovely, fetching lady. I think like a lady out there. I don't want to speak out of turn. Does it ever hurt you in your relationships where they hear you go like, we're all players? Do you have to? So you're going to go back and she's like, you have some splaining to do, in Sudanese?
Well, yeah. Yeah, she'll say it in Arabic. No, we need to talk. So they don't because like I'm very open about that. Like I tell girls all the time, I'm not going to be monogamous to you. I tell them all the time, men lead, women follow. And and I do want to be important because this is another thing that people kind of misconstrue about me. I don't tell guys to run out there and be like a womanizer like forever. I just want guys to be able to understand women, and I understand for you to truly be able to understand modern women and the way that they move nowadays. Unfortunately, like religion and culture and all the things that used to keep women in place, the church and shame, all these institutions are pretty much gone or eroded significantly. So like women are incentivized to be whores nowadays. So I tell guys, look, get in a position where you understand women, where they can't hurt you, like whether it be with marriage or the divorce court or you're paying alimony or child support. Understand them and then go in with your eyes wide open. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, I think guys do have to get a level of experience when they deal with women. But I just want them to do it on their terms versus doing it on the woman's terms, which is what most guys end up doing in modern society.
I think that's good because I know you've had conversations with a friend of mine, Andrew Wilson, and
yes,
we agree on a lot of the I think you're unabashedly red pill. You would say. And then I get lumped in with that, whereas like we would have very different prescriptions going forward. But it sounds to me like you're saying...
we've all identified the same problem.
The same problems. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I think that's where we kind of diverge and we can talk about it. But that's actually good for you to clarify because I've heard you say like, bang a lot of bitches to use your, your culture, your colored nomenclature.
Yes.
But you're basically saying do it on your terms. So if you want to be monogamous, if you want to not be promiscuous, then make sure you're approaching it the right way where you find that kind of woman. But if you want a whore, then, go to the whore store.
Yeah, and be able to identify them. So this is the thing that so I get in a lot of fights with a lot of conservatives over this topic. So like one of the things, right? So I have 5 things that I think every guy should have. And I think we might have even had a discussion on this before a couple years back and it hasn't really changed too much. Make 6 figures a year, at least $100,000 a year as a guy, be 35 years old, have 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, and have sex with 50 women. Now, this 50 women thing is what has a lot of people perplexed.
It's the 5th thing.
Yeah. This is what pisses a lot of people off. Now, this 50 isn't a hard and fast 50. I just want it where guys are able to get to a point where they understand women to the point where they don't get into a relationship with a girl and she's telling them shit like, you're not going to get any nookie unless you take out the trash. Oh, you're not going to get XYZ unless you do this. So I don't want guys to be in a position where their girlfriend or their significant other can leverage sexuality for compliance from them, from his perspective. She should be giving that to you all the time, and she should be actually the one trying to initiate if you do everything right, correctly. And the reason why I say guys need to have these 5 things is because in the age of Instagram, in the age of dating apps, in the age of where women have all these opportunities, relationship and sexual opportunities, you need to be what I call like an entry-level higher status guy. And these 5 things will put you in a position where you can at least be the leadership figure in that relationship where she's going to respect you and most importantly submit to you guys, submit to you. So that's why I say these things. Now, could it be 20 and you'll be fine? Could it be 10? Could it be 1? Hell, could you even be a virgin and maybe understand this stuff? Sure. But what I've realized is like most men don't really figure women out until they've had a significant amount of experience. And I've noticed it to be somewhere between 30 to 50. Now,
do you mean that relationally or do you mean that sexually?
Sexually, so that you understand women appropriately, so that you can identify. It's like, like we look at World of Warcraft, right? Like you got to kill the little like monsters or whatever, like the shit he wants to level up.
I thought we were talking about women. You went to World of Warcraft.
This is the problem.
Kryptonite to women.
How many women do you have your World of Warcraft?
Yeah, well, you got to kill the like little.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of all women drying up.
Or like, you spar with a bunch of people in boxing, right? So that when you finally have that final match against the boss, like you know how to appropriately, duck and weave and do what you got to do to be able to win the fight. Because I do think like when it gets to marriage and long-term relationship, that's going to be the hardest thing for you versus just womanizing. So you need to understand women's strategies and proclivities and everything else like that. So I think having that number and having that experience will, number one, put you in a position where you're attractive, and then number two, give you the prerequisite knowledge and sexuality where women can't leverage sex against you anymore. Because so many guys are like, I got my dick sucked, I'm going to do whatever she wants. And that's like the beginning of the end.
You've been talking with Robert. He says that a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
he says that. I'm like, Robert, you don't understand the dynamics of female-male interplay. But I will say, I get it. And then the Christian right prescription is, hey, you know what? The truth is people figure out sex, and the truth is people who are virgins who get married and then have sex, have fewer partners, are sexually happier. Now, maybe because they don't know what to compare it to.
They are.
But so what? Yeah. You know what I mean? I also think
ideally,
that
just for clarity, ideally, if a guy and a girl can get together and be virgins, that's the best scenario.
So you would say that too?
Yeah, statistically speaking, that is the best way. But me being pragmatic and understanding how women are nowadays, where the average 21-year-old girl is going to have more sexual partners than the average 21-year-old guy, like I can't in good faith tell guys to get married as a virgin and them not being destroyed because they don't understand female nature and how women are. And like, unfortunately, the church, religion, society, shame, all these different things that used to be in play back like in 1955 are no longer in play in 2025. And women have no reason to really sit there and submit to you and do what they're supposed to do because they're incentivized to not.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you.
Let me know down below if you agree with Myron Gaines that you need to sleep with roughly 30 to 50 women to understand them, more or less. Now, to Myron Gaines' point, like he does serve a point in that you're trying to understand women, you're trying to understand their behavior, and yes, the more experienced you are, it will increase your ability to basically, get around their bullshit and not let any of that crap affect you. Like when I first started messing with women, I had no training at all. I had to figure it out on the fly, and it ended terribly. So there's a much better way of going about it. But unfortunately for so many guys, they're not being taught early on, either by dads or by the system or whatever. And on top of that, women nowadays are more experienced than men. And the ones that are in relationships, they're just using men. A lot of them are just absolutely using men, and guys are going in blind, not knowing how to understand women, not knowing what to do, and they're just getting railroaded for it. They're either getting taken over in the relationship, they're getting messed up in the courts, and they're just suffering for it. I don't necessarily, agree you need to do 30 to 50, because on the same time, to Steven Crowder's point, there is the statistical truth that if you take two virgins and put them together, that is like literally the best odds of having a long-term relationship and being the happiest, like statistically. But unfortunately, that clashes with the modern liberal world we live in. So unfortunately, you kind of have to pick your poison and take your risk as you see fit. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the link in the description, and let's get back in.
Get this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think, so I think you're right, we have identified kind of one of the problems in society.
Yeah. Dry skin in your
is that what it is?
button. It's gone.
All right, thanks, appreciate that.
I
I went like this, I scratched my nose right before we went on the show. Yeah, exactly.
Or sunburn.
Nose cancer.
Do you think, though, that there is a way to incentivize guys to only look for the right women? And eventually this problem goes away because women won't be able to find any guys because they're not looking for women that are sleeping around. They're actually looking for people that have some character and some, the qualities in women that we've always looked for. So instead of incentivize, like saying, hey, go out and sleep with 50 so you understand them, just don't play their game. Just find virtuous women, and therefore we will get rid of this problem by doing that.
The only problem with that is that, so when women run game, what they do is when they find a guy that they like, they'll sell purity. And we all know, like, we sell success, they sell purity. Yes. So like my thing is like, and this is another reason why.
All right, what about an app? A purity app. Follow
Purity
me
app?
here. No, I'm just kidding.
You could ask some questions to it, and then I can. Yeah,
Dating a water filter? What is that?
yeah. But yeah, like the thing is, guys need to be able to identify when girls are lying to them and they're selling purity. And this is why I tell guys actually like date a girl for 6 months to a year before you ever like claim her and make her your actual girlfriend and actually getting serious, because you need time to see where she stands in her characteristics. And then another thing I tell guys is like, see if she does acts of service. Like, will she do things for you? And because a good woman is going to come in, see parts of things that you're doing that could be optimized. Like, for example, let's say you like coffee, right? But she shows up at your house, you don't have a good coffee machine. She just takes the initiative and buys you one, right?
Yeah.
Or she has a cup always ready for you when you wake up. Little things like that, and you don't even have to tell her. Like, that's a really good sign, because now she's becoming like almost, I always say men need to be problem solvers in the real world. Women need to be problem solvers in a household with the guy and making them better, so that they don't have to think about the little things, so they can go focus on the big things. That's where I think a woman is best. And people get mad at me when I say, oh yeah, she needs to basically be your assistant. But I truly do think like women thrive in that assistance role, because it puts you as the masculine leader and the dominant figure. It puts her as the subservient, which is what they want anyway. And she's helping you become better. And I think that's like the best way it can go. But guys won't be able to identify these types of women or be able to figure this out until they date them for a good amount of time and see where she stands with these types of things.
Yeah, Steven Crowder is more the religious angle, but Myron Gaines is just giving the brutal, harsh reality of modern dating. And so many young guys just don't understand how women actually think. And that's one of the most, if not one of the most, if not the most important thing guys need to learn in their lives. They need to understand the other gender. And likewise, the other way around. Women need to understand men, and men need to understand women. When those two things happen, that's when everyone gets along. That's when all of this gets easy. But the woke left, feminism, all of this has just absolutely trashed the sexual dating market. It has ruined the mating cycle and all of the restrictions around it, protection of the fatherhood. And now everyone is just basically just trying to wing it. They're just listening to social media, internet, corporate media, anything that anybody tells them, because they don't really have any good positive direction growing up. So they're just trying to figure it out as they go, and it's ending horribly. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Myron Gaines had to say. Shocking Steven Crowder with the brutal reality of how it is dating for men in the modern dating market. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.